Hello there, beautiful people. Welcome again to another fun episode of Nanabe's Kitchen. I hope you all are having a fantastic day. On the menu today is a dish from Peru known as Lomo Saltado. Now, this dish has the top three things my children absolutely adore: fries, rice, and stir-fried beef. My husband and I recently stumbled upon a Peruvian restaurant in our neighborhood known as Taste of Peru, run by Douglas. Now, I had me a plate of Lomo Saltado and I was quickly transported to my happy place. This dish is filled with lots of flavors. Very few ingredients is all you need. Ingredients you probably currently have in your home. I cannot wait to replicate this recipe so my children can also indulge. Let's begin, but first, let us wash our hands. Next step, friends, is to prep all of our fresh ingredients as well as the meat. Beginning with my potatoes. So today I'm using Yukon Gold potatoes. This is how I'm going to fry the fries, the French fries. So I cut a block out of each potato and then create slabs as I'm doing right now. And then I'll restack these slabs and cut out my fries from them to my preferred thinness. The trimmings I reserve and make a hash brown for breakfast later on, so nothing goes to waste. So here are my fries. They're perfect. They're going to go into a brine solution to prevent them from changing color or oxidizing. So some water from the tap, add a little salt to it, mix it to combine, and then drop your fries into it. You're going to continue prepping the rest of your potatoes and they all go into the brine solution immediately. And then you're going to rinse them off because you see the water has become cloudy. That's from the starches on the potato, and we don't want the starches to stay on the potatoes because what will happen is it will prevent it from becoming crispy when fried. And we want some really crispy, not flaccid, not limp fries, but crispy fries. Now submerge them in hot water to blanch, to draw us closer to the crispiness we're going for. I have some Serrano chilies here for some heat, and I finely mince these. Now here are some orange bell peppers, the closest I could find to the ají amarillo, which is what they normally use in Peruvian cooking of Lomo Saltado. They use a specific pepper that's orange or yellow looking, and it has a little heat to it. And if you don't have that, like I didn't, you can always use the orange or yellow bell peppers. I have also prepped an onion and then some tomatoes I cut into wedges, and then some scallions also. Now I'm prepping my garlic, mincing that finely as well. The final fresh ingredient is my cilantro, which you can substitute with parsley. Now I have some salt also, followed by some crushed black pepper. And we can't forget about the soy sauce in this recipe. So I have 3 parts of light soy sauce to 1 part of dark soy sauce, followed by vinegar. That just went in just now, and now we're adding some olive oil just to give our sauce a little gloss. And our last and certainly the most important ingredient to prep is our beef tenderloin, which is what actually houses the filet mignon, the most tender cut of beef you'll ever find. Now you see it came with the silver skin on still, so we have to trim that off, all right? Because that won't cook. It's connective tissue and it will cook rubbery, and it will just, we don't want that. We just don't want that. So after that, I cut them into strips, and then I cut them into chunky bite-sized pieces, and that's exactly how to do it. They cook so tender and juicy. Perfect. All right, friends, so we have come to the conclusion of the prepping phase of our ingredients. Potatoes are also blanched, so we're going to transfer them into a dry bowl lined with paper towel. And then we're going to proceed to blanch them again, this time not in hot water, but in hot oil, because we're going to double fry these beauties. The time has come to now transform these lovely and fresh ingredients into a beautiful plate of Lomo Saltado. Let's cook, friends. First, we're going to re-blanch our fries, all right? So I have the oil hot enough to create a sizzle once the fries goes in. And I fry for about a minute only. I don't want any crunchiness just yet because we are blanching, all right? Now I'm going to take them out just when they have become slightly limp. Spread them out to allow them to cool off, and when we fry them a second time, they'll become perfectly crispy. Now the actual preparation of the Lomo Saltado is about to begin, and this happens so fast. Therefore, that's why it's important to have all your ingredients prepped. This wok is on very high heat. We're going to throw a real good sear on this meat to lock all the juices and the flavor in. And that's why it's important to have your wok on very high heat. You want to spread out all your meats, all right? And leave them alone. Give them about 2 minutes before you start stirring. I have added my salt, and my crushed black pepper just went in. I didn't add these ingredients, especially the salt, in the beginning because we did not want to pull out any moisture from the beef pieces, all right? We want them to stay moist and melt in your mouth. This is filet mignon. This is the most tender beef cuts that you'll ever find, but they can dry out on you very quickly if not prepped the correct way. And after 2 minutes, you can stir now to create a sear on the other sides as well. And this is exactly what we're going for. The juices are now locked into the meat pieces. They're tender. They're going to melt in your mouth. And at this point, we've been cooking for about 5 minutes. Now I've added my Serrano chilies that I minced, including the garlic as well. Stir that in less than 20 seconds. We don't want those to burn because we're still cooking on high heat. We're going to add our onions now. We're almost done, including our bell pepper. Stir that in, still cooking on high heat, so that we can retain that crunchy nature of these vegetables. And now we're going to add our sauce, our soy sauce based sauce. A mouthful of deliciousness, I guarantee that. So stir all of that in and look at the sauce that this thing is creating already. Beautiful, very delicious. What is umami here? The last but one ingredient that goes in is our scallions, all right? And you notice that I cut those into really big chunky pieces because that's how it's done in Lomo Saltado. Last ingredient that goes in is our tomatoes. And you notice that we cut them into really big chunky pieces because if you chop them up, you will make soup. We're not making soup here. This is a stir fry. So all is done. Now I'm throwing in my roughly chopped cilantro. If you have parsley, you can use that. All right, perfect. We're done. 10 minutes later, we have our Lomo Saltado. Now look at that right there and tell me your mouth isn't watering right now. If your mouth is watering, then you ought to give me a thumb up. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Turn your notification on by clicking on that bell, and then also choose all so you don't miss anything at all I post on the channel, including the community section. Now take a moment and try to soak it in. The tomatoes also release just a little bit of juice, and that adds on to that beautiful broth around it. It's just perfect. We're giving our fries a second fry to crisp them up, and then we'll be ready to serve. Now, Peruvian cooking is a melting pot of several cultures, including Chinese, and that's where the stir-frying aspect of this dish comes in. The fries are now crispy, so toss some salt onto it because there is going to be an adhesion of the salt to the fries immediately they come out of the oil. If you're just joining us, welcome. Let me give you a quick update of what we've done so far. So we just finished stir frying a Peruvian beef stir fry known as Lomo Saltado. Then we fried our fries, our potato fries, for the second time to get them really crispy. Our rice is ready, so we are ready also to put everything together. It's time to plate. Lomo Saltado is originally served with sticky rice, and the closest I could find to that in my pantry is jasmine rice, which is what I was actually served at the restaurant. It is perfumed, it is very delicious, all right? It's very fragrant. So I take a healthy serving of that. Now you can also use basmati rice if you want a lower glycemic type of rice. You can definitely use basmati rice. You can even use brown rice. Why not? Rice is rice, right? So a healthy amount. There it is. Make it look pretty. We're going to eat with our eyes first. I know you're already doing that. And serve some fries on the side. Originally, the fries are added to the stir fry and it soaks up all those juices, but I really wanted the juices to kind of linger on because I want to also be able to dip some of the rice into the juices as well as the fries, all right? So I want it to be evenly distributed. So I left the fries on the side and drizzled that beautiful juice onto it. This dish was executed perfectly and made with a lot of love, the most important ingredient of all. Douglas, I know you'll be very proud of me. I have listed the restaurant information to Taste of Peru located in Mesa, Arizona in the description box below. And friends, this video is not sponsored. However, it is our humble attempt to help promote a small business. Lomo Saltado, friends and family, beautiful people, you have to try this recipe. The simplicity of it and yet the sophistication that you're able to get in those flavors is off the charts. Simple recipe, very quick to put together. The stir fry took less than 10 minutes, friends and family. Try your hands on it. You and your family will totally fall in love with this one too. And if you live in the famous metropolitan area, make it a point to support a small business. Go see our friend Douglas at Taste of Peru. He will give you a plate of the most delicious Lomo Saltado. I enjoyed putting this recipe together. I totally love it. My family, I cannot wait for them to dig in. Thank you so much for joining us again here on another exciting episode of Nanabe's Kitchen. I hope to see you pretty soon on my next one. Make it a great day, friends and family. And as always, have fun, especially in that kitchen. Y'all know what time it is. Yes, shop time.